Hello everyone, welcome back to the 341 Fitness channel. So today I'm going to talk to you guys about something that seems to be popping up a lot. However, it's actually not that new. So you're here because the title worked for you and you probably were already researching and maybe you wanted to learn a little bit more, or maybe you just wanted to hear what I had to say about it. So today I am here to talk to you about carb cycling. Okay, what on earth even is carb cycling? And is it brand new? Is it old? I thought keto was the thing. I mean, who can keep up anymore, right? So I did prepare a couple of slides. I'll put them side by side just because if you don't know anything about this topic, or you are just starting to learn about it and you're new to fitness and nutrition, it will get a little bit confusing. So I wanted to make this as comprehensible as possible for you guys. All right, so let's get started and dive in. So carb cycling, it could be so simple or it could be so complicated, but really at its base, it's just cycling days where you eat carbs and days where you don't. And the days where you don't, the carbs you are getting are coming from things like your vegetables or your post-workout smoothie or meal, because your body still needs to restore itself. The way it does that is with its preferred fuel source, which is carbs. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I've seen a lot of bad press about carbs, and I just don't get it because that's what our bodies use for energy. So, being a fit pro, I said, well, why are people eliminating them? We need them. And I don't mean for the energy, like, rah, rah, right? Of course, we need it for that too. But I mean for the energy for doing the things that your body has to do to keep you alive every day. So like being able to transport your blood through your body, like being able to breathe, that requires energy on a cellular level. And your body prefers it in the source of carbohydrates, followed by fats, followed by proteins. And we hear so much about how protein is great for you, and it is. But we hear so much about how carbs are bad for you, and it's not. But it is bad for you? Eating too much of anything and just sitting on the couch. And so if you're eating way too many carbs and you're sitting on your couch, well, guess what? Your body didn't need all of that energy, so what's it gonna do with the extra? Store it as fat. And that, my friends, is why people think carbs make you fat. So let's get into it a little bit more. If you are somebody who has, say, 20 pounds to lose, the way you would carb cycle, and this is where it gets a little tricky, and you can look right next to me here at the slide. I put all the examples. But so say you have 20 pounds to lose. You're gonna do a 3:1:2:1 ratio. All that simply means is you are doing lower carbs 3 days, followed by a higher carb day, followed by lower carbs 2 days, followed by a higher carb day. Okay, so how does this even work, right? Carbs are stored as glycogen in your body. And glycogen also retains water. So that's why you hear people talk about losing water weight. So carbs do actually have a little bit more of a dense effect on your body in that sense. However, if we have the excess glycogen in our body because we've been eating too many of them and not moving enough, then what happens is when we deprive, for lack of a better word, your body of that fuel source that it prefers, well, guess what? It's gonna tap into those stored ones that it had for a rainy day and start using those. And then you're gonna do that for a couple of days. And on that fourth day, when you do the 3:1:2:1, you're gonna go ahead and replenish those glycogen stores. Now, you might be like, wait, hold up a minute. Why am I replenishing them? I wanna get rid of them. I wanna lose this extra weight. Well, if I tell you you can never have mac and cheese or bread or wine again, until they're all gone, do you think you'd stick to it? Right? So not only are you replenishing those glycogen cells that your body does need to do its functions, it needs for that energy, but it's also something that's allowing you to have the foods you love every couple of days. And then for a couple days, you might not get to have them, right? That doesn't mean you're not having any foods you like. I'm not sitting here saying you're eating egg whites all day long or baked chicken with nothing on it and broccoli or beets that you hate. But I am saying you're not focusing on adding in extra carbs those days. Then on your high carb day, this is the part where some people do tend to go wrong, but on your higher carb day, you do get to focus on adding in something like sweet potato, quinoa, couscous, more fruits and veggies to at least 75% of your meals. And you get to fill that reserve back up. Now, that reserve's already been emptied a little bit, right? So you get to fill it back up. You are nice and satiated, and then the next day you go back to lower. You're still working out and moving. And when I say working out, that looks different for everybody. For you, that might just be going for a daily walk, and that might be something brand new for you. So I'm not talking about going to the gym and lifting and throwing around 50-pound weights like it's nobody's business. I mean, if that's you, you do you. But if you have just been sitting on your couch, then just get up and go for a walk, and your body's gonna use that fuel. So you go back to those lower carbs for 2 days, and your body says, okay, well, we got the carbs yesterday and we actually did need all of those to process all of our bodily functions. And okay, but now we're not getting them today. Well, what do? Oh, we still have some left over. I'm just gonna take some of that, right? And so this is how you end up losing weight from it. Now, you might hear your Aunt Peggy talking and saying that she cut out carbs and she lost 20 pounds overnight, right? And yeah, she might have. She definitely might have. And part of that is going to be water weight. But the other thing to think about with that is how long is Aunt Peggy going to stay on that diet for, right? So I do really want you guys to think about that and eat intuitively here. So eating when you're hungry is also going to be a really big source here. All right, so that's for people who have 20 pounds or more to lose, that 3-1-2-1 diet, right? And you follow it just like that until you kind of get to where you want to go. And don't worry if you have one day where you just feel like you can't do it. It's going to happen. It's okay to add a flex day in there. Because what this is about, when you kind of really break it down to that simple source of why people are using it right now, is because it's something that is sustainable and that you could do it. And it gets super detailed too, guys. So right now I'm talking to you guys about the way that you can use it, but it can get so rigid and complex, and that's the way you'll see a lot of fitness professionals use it. And that involves weighing everything out, being super meticulous about everything you're eating, spending hours meal prepping, as well as tracking everything in a food diary, right? And so I have that one right over there for you to look at too, so you can see the differences and decide what's right for you. You might be somebody who already tracks everything and you only have, for example, less than 10 pounds to lose, or you just really want to focus on toning and you've already been working out consistently and regularly, and maybe you just kind of have hit a plateau, but you know you're cool with tracking everything and you kind of want to experience what it would be like to weigh these things out. Well, you, my friend, would follow a 1-1 carb cycle. So 1-1 is exactly what it sounds like. High carb day, low carb day, high carb day, low carb day. Like that, repeated every single day. And so you can still do that one pretty simply, just by intuitively eating and remembering if the day before was high or low, or you can get super rigid and complex with it and challenge yourself. That's up to you. And listen, I urge you guys to do it simply and not get like too hung up on all the details unless you are somebody who's going into a competition, because it can get a little messy in there, right? And that's the last thing we want to do. So 1-1 cycle, same exact concept. Some days you're focusing on not adding in carbs and keeping it just from those veggies, or if you are having carbs, it's going to be right after your workout to restore your muscles. Or you're going to have a smoothie that has like berries in it right after your workout. And that's really the only way you're getting it aside from your vegetables. Okay, so what if you're in between, right? So you're sitting there like, well, Caitlin, I definitely don't have 20 pounds to lose, but I also would like to lose more than 10. What do I do? 2-1, right in the middle. So 2 days low, 1 day high, 2 days low, 1 day high. And it's the same as the others. And with all three of them, again, you can make it as complex or as simple as you want to. So what does this all mean for me, right? Think about it, decide if it's something you want to do, and give it a shot if it is. But if you're just sitting here listening to me and you're like, this doesn't sound like it's for me at all, I don't think I could give up carbs out of the majority of my meals for 2 to 3 days in a row and then replenish them, then this isn't for you. And what I'm about here at 3-for-1 Fitness is helping you find what works for you, because the diet that's going to work for you and help you lose weight and help you get to your goals is the one that you can sustain, right? So we'll work together on that. So the other thing that happens when you're carb cycling, and what's another unique factor about it and another reason that makes it work, is because you're naturally calorie cycling. What is calorie cycling? I just barely knew what a macronutrient was, and now you explained carb cycling, and I kind of get it, but I'm definitely gonna look at those slides. What the fuck is calorie cycling? I know, all these terms, right? Okay, calorie cycling is so simple. So what happens is, again, our body needs the energy to do its daily functions. So that also means that while you are just sitting on your couch with Aunt Marge eating a bag of potato chips, your body is burning calories at rest. But it's used to the amount it needs. It knows, for example, hey, I need to get through today 1,200 calories. And that 1,200 calories is gonna allow me to do everything if Caitlin never got out of bed today and just stayed in bed all day long, okay? Your body's still burning those calories. That's your basal metabolic rate, okay? So it is just sitting there, even at rest, burning calories, or your resting metabolic rate. So your bodies are so super smart, you guys, and this is why people end up having a plateau, is because our bodies are made to survive. Like, the term survival of the fittest did not come out of the blue. Your body is going to adapt to what you are doing, and that's why people will be a couple of months in and they'll stop seeing results, because their body caught on to the fact that they're now moving more and they are getting the adequate calories. So it's just going to kind of play catch up, and once it's finally caught up, it knows, oh, okay, now I need 1,400, and that's great in the beginning, because in the beginning your body thought it only needed 1,200, so you were burning in excess 200. Well, now you're fueling it a little bit more because you need to, you've been working out and you want to build that muscle, but your body then once again catches up, right? So what we need to do is shake things up a little bit. And when you are carb cycling, you naturally are shaking things up every couple of days. So the calories are going to range up and down every couple of days. And so just to give you a very basic baseline example, these are not numbers I suggest, but just for example's sake, say for example, your high carb day is 1,500 calories and your low carb day is 1,300 calories. So when you are eating those lower ones, your body's like, okay, cool, we're used to this. Maybe it's a little less than what I need, and I'm gonna actually start burning through my stored fat cells. And so it's gonna kind of stay right there in its homeostasis. And then all of a sudden, the day's gonna change on it, and it's gonna be like, oh, what the heck? We needed more today, or we needed less today. And so it's keeping your body and your energy needs guessing, which is great because then you avoid a plateau. And so getting into the nitty gritty of that, You have your carbs, you have your protein, you have your fats. Carbs and proteins are each 4 calories per gram, and fats 9 calories per gram. So what's naturally going to happen is if you have a day where you're eating 100 grams of carbs, well, that's going to equate to only 400 calories. But then that day when you have your higher carbs and maybe your total is going to be 200 for that day, well, then you're going to have 800 calories. So you see the calorie ranges too. So a little bit of information on calorie cycling for you on that as well. And so hopefully the rundown of all of this, along with the PowerPoints that I have over here to kind of go along with you so I don't lose you in all this translation, help you make that clear decision for yourself and give you a little bit more information on why this does work. And again, if it's not something for you, I bet you I have something that is. With that, I'm gonna say today is my high carb day, so I'm gonna enjoy this popcorn and wine with my girls. Cheers.